Oh, it's so good to be back after a week off. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Virtual Church for a lineup of spectacular hymns, a top 5 and live requests and everything else that goes with Virtual Church. It's very good to be here with you again. We started there with Christ is made the sure foundation, Christ our head and cornerstone, to the tune, as you all know, Bradford Cathedral, Westminster Abbey, to the tune Westminster Abbey, being serious now, by Purcell, Henry Purcell, who was organist there in the 17th century, and more importantly, requested by tonight's producer-in-chief, Josh Wilson, who said, this has become one of my favourite hymns. I first heard it here in BIS, but have noticed it over the years during a lot of the services for the royal family. Well, it is a royal hymn, absolutely. Okay, cool. Well, lots to talk about tonight. Lots to do, lots to play, lots to do together. This time last week, my family and I were in Rotterdam, which is what the thumbnail is on today's video. It's the Lawrence Kirk, taken by myself. Just on a fairly miserable evening, actually, in terms of weather. We had a really beautiful weather all week, and then we went to Rotterdam, and then it rained. Can't complain because the preceding week was fabulous. I'll talk more about the holiday just briefly in a little bit. But first, we're going to have a gorgeous hymn here, music by the wonderful Orlando Gibbons, his song 34, Forth in thy name, O Lord I go, my daily labour to pursue, thee, only thee resolve to know, in all I think or speak or do. So if you'd like to make some live requests, you can in the usual way. Thank you very much off the bat to Donald Dodson, who has already donated $50. So Donald, thank you so much for that. If you want to follow in Donald's footsteps, I would be flattered if you did. Beautiful hymn, isn't it? Interestingly, on the third line of music in this particular edition, where all of us, I think, will be used to hearing the E flat. In this edition, it's just an E natural. It's definitely a typo, I think, in this edition. Hands up, anyone who is used to hearing this harmony. Let me know, E flat or E natural. Okay, so let's go on now to... Oh, that was by a request from me, by the way. Sometimes I like to make requests as well. Is that all right? So, next request comes in from one of you. You're far more important than I am. Jim Kime has requested some very familiar words. Very familiar words. I'm certain all of you will know the words to this. But the tune, you might not. I don't know. Just looking at the chat. Everyone says E flat, yeah, E flat. So it's definitely a typo, isn't it? But when you're not quite focused and not quite thinking, thinking about the stream instead, you read what's on the page and then you suddenly think, oh, that wasn't right. Notes to self, think about the music, look ahead, concentrate. So these familiar words are these. O thou who camest from above. I'm going to hand over to you, chat. What is the other tune, apart from Hereford, that is sung to these words? Okay, maybe it is not going to be well known, maybe it will be well known. What do you think? While you're doing that, Jim said, another amazing hymn from Charles Wesley that continues to resonate strongly. When sung to X, it seems to gain more power for me. So no one... Oh, Andrew Luce, you're on the money. Wilton, yes, Wilton, there it is. So, Jim has requested the tune Wilton. Does anyone know this tune? Looking at it here, I don't. Hereford, to me, all the way. But let's see how we get on. Thank you very much, Ben. Made a request there. Jesu, Meine, Freude, yes, $5. Thank you very much. Let me give you a heart, my friend. There we go. Can you see that? Thank you. Lovely. Good chappy knows Wilton. Anyone else? Nick Knack knows Wilton. Oh, it's Nick Knack's preferred tune. Interesting. Over Hereford. Woohoo! Angelou says Wilton has a great tenor line. He was brought up on it 60 to 70 years ago. Okay, well, let's have a listen to the tenor line. I might bring out the tenor line on a solo stop, if you're lucky. So let's have a listen to this. I don't know it, so this is new to me. There you go, a bit of a hymn off there. So the first tune, Wilton, as you identified, was actually by Samuel Stanley. I don't know whether that's in relation to John Stanley. I don't have any dates here, but of course the second tune there is Hereford by Samuel Sebastian Wesley. To me, I'm afraid to say, it's all about Hereford for that tune. It's all about Hereford. I mean, I liked the Samuel Stanley. I think had we not been gifted Hereford by Wesley, I think Wilton would have sufficed. I think it would have been an okay tune. But to me, there's something about Hereford which really is so beautiful. I think it's the harmony and just the lyrical line, particularly here. Here, these that is just so beautiful. Okay, anyway, thank you very much, Jim. Hope that was all right for you, my friend. Let's go on to it now. Hey, yes, I've got my list here, and it's another request from me. I'm sorry, it seems to be all about me tonight. Well, what have I requested? Glorious Things of Thee Are Spoken. Why not? I'm going to play this tune. It's a bit of a conflicting nationality, this tune. Written by Haydn in Austria. So it's called Austria, but it's now the German national anthem. It's Glorious Things of Thee Are Spoken. Your favourite tune is Abbot's Leigh or Austria? I know, let's just have a little bit of fun whilst we're doing this. Oh, by the way, I've got to ask you a favour, and I've got to ask you very quietly. When Caroline comes down, Caroline's birthday today, okay? When she comes downstairs, hopefully she'll come downstairs at some point. You'll all know she's here because she'll announce herself as she always does. Can you all say happy birthday in the chat? That would be marvellous. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to sort of remind you. But when she comes down, she's upstairs. When she comes down, can you all just say happy birthday and give some funky emojis or something? She looks pretty good for 22, doesn't she? Glorious Things of Thee Are Spoken. So there's a poll on the screen. I'll be interested to see what is. I'm going to vote for mine, I think. Yeah, I voted. Oh, no, I haven't voted. Oh, my screen's gone black. There it is. Okay, so let's have a go. Actually, that was very close, that poll. Only 51% of you against 48. We had a rather big vote like that in the past few years, which was that close in this country. Okay, well, if you've voted for the other one, we better have it then, hadn't we? Quickly. There we go. So I love that tune, but there's just something about Austria that I think is really wonderful. What I like doing is in the final verse, when we have this line in Austria, we have this hold the B flat in the pedal, so really sort of grounds the harmony. Yeah, then go here. Then sort of prolong that to make people wait. It's like make people wait for it. It's the same in Cometh for the final. You know, if you have and then it goes pom 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 wait. Bang! It's the same sort of idea. If you make people wait just a little bit, it just, yeah, some people will come in early and you have a little bit of a laugh to yourself, but it really emphasises the music. Anyway, who was that requested by? Oh, sorry, that was me. That was me. That was well, thank you very much, me. That was a great request. And also had a little bit of a fun poll. Matt Leach is up next, who requested beautiful little hymn, Amazing Grace. Now he requested this because Matt Leach is getting baptised today, which is wonderful. That's obviously a worldwide thing because we had baptisms and confirmations in Romsey Abbey this evening. So is there something about today? Is there any liturgical reason why today is the day of baptisms and confirmations? I'm sure someone will know the answer to that. But I don't think that's in. He said he wouldn't be in live, but he'd watch back. Michael, the cat is outside, having just brought in a mouse moments before we went live. Luckily it was, well, luckily for us, not lucky for it, but it was dead. It's now outside. It was Nala. And they're not around, luckily. Let's just raise the tone a little bit now. Let's get back into Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. I was blind, 3 blind mice, but now I see. Let's have my favourite stops on the Romsey Abbey organ are the flutes on the choir, and they are utterly divine. I was walking around the Abbey this morning as our organ scholar was playing for the pre-service rehearsal with the choir, and I was just walking around because I wanted to see whether a registration that he was using was too loud or too quiet, make sure it was okay, basically. And the flutes on this instrument in the building at Romsey are just so nice. It's voiced so beautifully in that building. I think the flutes on it are and the diapasons, they are so gorgeous. You know, it's no wonder it's a sort of a listed organ in the BIOS. Okay, anyway, so Amazing Grace for Matt Leach. Yes, mutation. Let's go for the 8/4 and the 12th on the choir. Thank you very much, Matt Leach, for requesting that. And of course, congratulations on your baptism. So, last week, most of you will have known by now that I was in Holland, which those people who are not in Europe may not know what or where Holland is. That's fair enough, because a lot of people don't realise that Holland is a part of the Netherlands. It's like we have the south of England and the north of England. Holland is just a part of the Netherlands as the country. So we went to the Netherlands, but more specifically, we were in Holland. Does that make sense? So we started off in Haarlem. We drove to Haarlem late, very, very late, last week. So we did virtual church 2 weeks ago. Woke up on Monday, took Hugo to nursery, drove to somewhere called Harwich in England, which is on the east coast. I should finish that. Naughty elephant squirts water. That's how I know north, east, south, west. I get my east and west mixed up. So east coast. Got the ferry, the overnight ferry into Rotterdam. Or the Hook of Holland. So we got the overnight ferry. We arrived at 6 a.m. local time, So to us, that felt like 5 a.m., having gotten to bed at about midnight, had about maybe 16 minutes sleep, I think, on the ferry. Then drove to, we went to this mini village in the Hook of Holland. I forget what it's called now. I'm sure people you Dutch people will know what it's called. There's a mini village near the port. We went there, got our energy back, and then drove over to Haarlem. Had a beautiful time, 5 nights in Haarlem. Took my e-bike, and I'm very, very glad that I took my e-bike because I used to work in central London, and I'm used to seeing bikes everywhere. Cyclists, pedestrians, cars. In London, it's chaos, it's war. You know, the cyclists hate the drivers hate the cyclists, pedestrians just hate everyone. But in Holland, in Haarlem, everybody, and this is from my experience, everybody was so courteous. The drivers respected the cyclists, and the cyclists certainly respected the rules and the highway code, which they don't in this country. You know, a red light, you're on a bike, you go straight through it. Zebra crossing, somebody walking over it, you go straight over it. In Holland, there was none of that. It was very respectful. So I took my e-bike, bought a bike rack for the car. They're not cheap, actually. Got the bike on it, drove very cautiously, looking in the mirror literally every minute. Is it still there? Is it still there? Half expecting it to be down the M25. But it got there amazingly, and then we cycled lots around there. Caroline had an e-bike, and we sort of zoomed around. Had a great time. Now the highlight of being in Haarlem was we got to meet 2 of our subscribers. I think they're in Freude and Gerrit. Are you in Gerda and Gerrit, as we sort of say in English, G, but I know in Netherlands it's more of a G, isn't it? So we met up with them, had lunch, and Gerrit managed to get me on the famous organ of the St. Bavo Kirk. Robert, thank you very much. Good to see you, Robert. How are you doing? Wow, thank you very much for your 100. I'll catch up with the donations in a minute. So Gerrit managed to get me on the organ of Haarlem. You know, the famous, I don't know, you can just see it, that one. It's that one there. You can't really see it. But what an experience that was. If you follow my social media, you'll have seen a video of me walking into Haarlem, into the church for the first time and seeing the organ for the first time, because I was told by multiple people, you know, it takes your breath away when you see it for the first time. So I wanted to record my initial genuine reaction to seeing it for the first time, and yes, it did not fail to deliver. It was stunning. And so I went to play it, and it was just a sort of a personal experience. It wasn't recorded, apart from Caroline and a couple of people recording it with their phones downstairs, which, if you've seen my social media video on Instagram and YouTube Shorts, the audio from that is basically from a handheld phone downstairs. However, I did this is personal to me, this is not going to be ever published, unfortunately, but I did record it from the organ loft here. And I can't put it online, but what I will do is I will just very briefly, after the next couple of hymns, just show you a clip of the console, of me playing the console, because it's just like, it's heaven. It's a life-changing moment. I'll never forget it, so I'm very grateful to Gerrit for arranging that. Let's go on to our next hymn now, which comes in from Bill. How are you doing? MIDI's recording, by the way, Bill. No, I don't do Linux. I have no idea. Bill has requested this one, which goes, when he cometh to make up his jewels, all his jewels, precious jewels, he's loved and his own. Refrain, like the stars of the morning, his brightness adorning, they shall shine in their beauty, bright gems for his crown. So Bill says, beautiful tune to a piece highlighting Jesus' love for children. Ah, well, that's very sweet. I actually have another little story after this, which I'll get to about regarding children. It's only a very short one. What should we have? Should we have the cornet disposition, which is 8 and 4 flutes down in the choir, a 12th, 2-foot flute, and then the TS. It's a cornet, accompanied by the 8 and 8, two 8-foot flutes on the grand org, or the hoofdwerk if you're in the Netherlands, or great if you're in England. I prefer grand org. It sounds so much more manly, doesn't it? Can't say that. What a really beautiful gem that is. That's nice to have in the BIS hymnal. Didn't know that at all. Hands up at anyone who knew that, apart from Bill. No, brand new to me. Let me know if you knew that one. So just a quick, to fill you in on a child-related story. So I was due to go to Romsey Abbey tonight. I was due to leave at 4:30, but at about 4:15 this evening, our little son, who a lot of you have seen, a lot of you have met virtually, he decided to he wanted to go out on his scooter, which is fine. We like to take him out on his scooter, get him fresh air. It helps him sleep at night. Those of you who've had children, those of you who have parents, know that fresh air helps them sleep. Anyway, so we went out with him on his scooter, and I was on my e-bike, because they were going to, Caroline and Hugo and Charlotte were going to go on a walk, do a loop. And I said, I'll come with you, but I've got to go to Romsey, so I'm probably not going to have time to go the whole way with you. And I'll go as far as I can, and then when I need to, I'll basically turn around on the bike and go home. Anyway, Hugo decided to go on a little detour on this trip, and he wanted to go on his scooter down a steep hill. So he went down a steep hill. He's actually really good on his scooter. Really, he's only not even quite 2.5 yet, but he's fantastic on his scooter. You know, he holds on, and he's sort of like, you think he's going to fall off any second, but he doesn't. He just zips forwards. He's got amazing practical balance. Anyway, so he went down this hill, and it's like a cul-de-sac. A cul-de-sac for you Americans it's basically like an avenue. A row of houses or a street with a dead end. Okay, so it's just like a short row of houses, which doesn't go anywhere. It's a cul-de-sac. I don't know what it It's probably French, isn't it? Which means something. Anyway, so this cul-de-sac goes off into two directions. It goes downhill and then it goes left or right. And of course, if you go straight on, you go basically into a wall. So Hugo decided to go down the hill, and I thought, oh crumbs. So I went after him, and he went down the hill, getting faster and faster, gathering speed. I thought, this isn't going to go well. So I was like, as I was shouting, Hugo, stop, stop. And he hasn't quite mastered the art of putting his other foot on the sort of the wheel at the back and to brake it. Because there's a brake which you push down, you know, and it stops the wheel and it slows it down. But he hasn't quite got that. Anyway, so he went down this hill, went over this sort of like a little speed bump thing with maybe 4 rows of brick which sort of protrude up a little bit. So he went over that like that, and I thought, he's made it over that alive, which I'm grateful for. But wait, he's getting faster and faster, and I thought, he's either going to turn left and fall off or go right and fall off, because if you take a corner at that speed, something's going to go wrong. He did neither of those things. He decided to go straight on, and he went basically into the wall. And I was on my bike, and it was one of those moments where, as a parent, you can't do anything. You literally can't do anything, because you're on the bike, you're sort of speeding up behind them, saying stop, stop, stop. And you know, even if I sort of paused time and sat there on my bike to think, what can I possibly do here to prevent an inevitable accident from happening? And I would come to the conclusion, mate, you can't. You're just going to have to just deal with it. So anyway, he went straight on into the wall. And luckily, he was wearing a helmet, and the helmet actually has a sort of a bump in it. So he hit the wall with his helmet, and unfortunately he's bit his lip, or both of his lips have been bitten, and it wasn't a very nice experience. But he's lived, and no doubt he'll be doing it again. And he now sort of laughs about it. He says, "Wall, fall in wall," he says. God. The thing is with that boy, he has no fear of fear itself. Whether he'll get it at some point, I don't know. Anyway, so the next hymn is Through all the changing scenes of life, in trouble and in joy, the praises of my God shall still my heart and tongue employ. Wonderful tune here called Wiltshire, which is the county just over next to Hampshire. Nice county. It's got Salisbury in the middle of it, as I'm sure you know. Actually, the tremulants on the swell might sound like a synthesizer, but I should say, knowing the real organ, it's totally as they sound in the building. It's a beautiful tremulant, actually. The speed is just right, I think. Yeah? Those are, for those people in the know who knows about how it works, these are recorded tremulants. That's how it sounds in the building. Very, very nice, actually. It hasn't got a vox humana on the real organ or here, but you can sort of get one by using the oboe, and maybe with the 4-foot flute, perhaps, or the principal. The 4-foot flute. Can't quite, can you? But hey, it's not a French organ. This was a 1950s the 1950s Walker. Okay, so let's go on to a request now from Daniel Kubaki, who's been sending requests religiously. That's a pun on words there, but you know what I mean. What has he asked for? There it is. Sweet hour of prayer. Sweet hour of prayer that calls me from a world of care and bids me at my Maker's throne. Let all my needs and wants be known. And Daniel says, Richard, I dedicate this hymn to you, Caroline, Hugo, Charlotte, Nala, and Bobby. Well, that's very kind. Thank you very much for dedicating that to my family. Let's have a listen to what it sounds like then. This is sort of like one of those rhythms that you guys like to dance to. Compound rhythm, compound meter, should I say? What should we use? Let's use a sort of a light, bright registration. Can you remember? Can you remember our deal? So when Caroline comes downstairs, okay, you know what you got to do, right? As long as maybe one or two of you do it, everyone just follow suit, okay? You gotta wish. You gotta wish her happy birthday when she comes downstairs. Yeah. Don't forget. So, Sweet Hour of Prayer. Then the tune is called, rather helpfully, Sweet Hour. Just looking at the chat to see what David Wright. 10 times too fast. Slow it down, please. Full stop. Okay. Ian Gardam says, feels like an ice cream van's approaching. Bill Mac says, it's not a bouncy tune. In Exor says, Richard, that's lovely playing, especially at that speed, but that's the fastest you would ever play it. It's a very meditative hymn, like a prayer. I like that. That's very, very well written. Thank you very much, in Exor. Okay, well, let's have a look at... Should we just have a listen to it a bit slower then? I've never heard it before, so I don't know. How do I know? How do I know how fast it's meant to go? Well, I don't. It's in D major. It's a good key. It's in that sort of rhythm. Let's just try it slower then. Let's just see what it's like. Slower. Okay. So this is how it should sound according to the chat. Bill, I agree. Maurice says, 10 times too slow now. There we go. So, 2 versions of Sweet Hour for Daniel Kubacki. After all, guys, Daniel dedicated that hymn to Hugo, amongst other people. And as I was just saying before I played that, Hugo likes his speed. He likes to go fast. So I was playing it in honor of Hugo. Okay, so Benjamin Yao was up next. I've only got 2 more hymns to go, and then we're going to go into a top 5. So Benjamin has asked for, again, the blessed gospel I have heard, that word divine and true, and God again has spoken to my soul. Oh, now, what shall I do? I come to thee, my God. I do thy love believe. I do accept thy gift of life and peace. I do thy Son receive. Just want to quickly say thank you to Pavlos, to Gerrit, to Bill, to Gregory, Robert, Bill's fan, aka Gary T, great name, Gregory Wonders, Richard Fitzgerald, Nigel Gunn, Bill again, Ben, Donald, and that's it for your donations tonight. Thank you very much. We'll get through your live requests after our top 5. If you'd like to make a live request, just pop a little super chat in the chat. Drop an ice cube in the tip jar, which is on the screen, and then we'll make sure that we play your live request later on. So meanwhile, Benjamin Yao sent this one in a few days ago. It arrived in my inbox safely and securely. Now, are you going to tell me that this is going to be 10 times too fast again? To be fair, to me, the amount of hymns that I play that I don't know, I don't think I get many tempos wrong, do I? Come on, hand it to me. Come on, give it to me. I'm not that bad. when it comes to tempos. I know you like to tease me, but consider me teased. What am I doing? Why have I got the trumpet out? Am I going to use a trumpet? Am I going to use a yeah. Let's use the choir trumpet for verse 1 so we can get used to the tune. I don't know how this one goes, so tempo will probably be wrong again. Let's find out. As Joshua has just said in the chat, Benjamin always introduces me to new hymns. I like it. Exactly the same, Josh. Benjamin is great at, I think, introducing us all to new hymns to us. I mean, these hymns are certainly not new by any means. This is a very, very old hymn. I think older than all of us. But they're new to us. That's one of the great things about VC. There's just so many new hymns are introduced every week. Okay, now Tim Van Elderen was in the chat. I think he might have gone now. Wanted the tune Regent Square. I've got a couple. Glory be to God the Father. Okay, so he wanted the words, Tim. Glory be to God the Father. But I don't have those words, but I have the tune, so I'll play the tune for you. But Tim says this about it. I had to play this hymn in church this morning. It turned out to be one of the few hymns that the congregation was familiar with, which meant they sung with quite some gusto. That's what he says. It has been a while, I think, since it featured on BIS, so I was wondering if you could play it. I certainly can, Tim. The tune is Regent Square, but let's just fire up the words. I don't know, I'll play 3 verses You know, light, abode, celestial, Salem, or the other words I've got here are Holy Father, Great Creator. So whatever words you want to sing or hum along, I'm going to play it 3 times. And it's called, as I just said, Regent Square, and it's by the English composer Henry Smart. If anyone here has played, conducted, or maybe sang Smart in B flat, you get massive respect from me. It's very niche. Has anyone performed Smart in B flat? Okay, Light's Abode. Let's engage that stop right there. You know what that one is, don't you? And let's go. So a bit of raw sawn there. I just thought I would see what he had done with it. Wasn't that outrageous compared to some of his other stuff. So Regent Square there for Tim, and Tim was actually in the chat, so I thought you'd gone, but good to have you with us. What did he say? Let's see if he approves of my tempo. Oh, he did say exactly my tempo. Nice. That's a relief. So that marks the end now of our pre-requested hymns. So I can take away this bit of paper and I can replace it with another piece of paper, because this is where we get to know one of you. And before I play that, I did say that I'd give you a little sneak peek of me playing this ear organ in Haarlem. So, I'm so sorry, but I can't put this online because they have very strict about making recordings of the organ. You can make recordings of the organ, but you just got to pay them. And unfortunately I hadn't paid them, so I couldn't make a recording. So, I don't know whether you can sort of see. Can you hear it's on as well? This is the end of the St. Anne fugue. What you've seen online already from downstairs. But this is upstairs. I stop here. To engage a very special stop. That was the yeah. That's the organ. Look who's here. It's Caroline.
Hello, everybody. Oh, look, the chat's going mad. Thank you very much.
There we go. Look, I don't know how they knew it was your birthday.
No, I don't know. Maybe Nala told them.
Well done, guys, for knowing. Yeah. So happy birthday. How is the little man?
He's okay. Yeah.
So
I've still got some of his blood on my top.
I did tell them.
There's blood
briefly
there. I
what
don't know if you can
happened.
see
No,
it.
well, they don't want to look too close like that.
Haven't got changed. Poor old Hugo. No, he's very brave.
He
Very
is.
brave.
He is very brave. I told them what happened.
Yeah. He's a speed demon, that boy.
And then after I told that hymn, after I told that story, I played the following hymn too fast. Apparently.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, it was 10 times too fast.
Maybe Hugo was
according
playing
to
it.
one member of our chat.
That's right.
But I said,
That's about
you know,
the speed that Hugo went down the hill.
Well, exactly.
10 times too fast.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh dear. But seriously, we have to buy him a new helmet. His helmet,
I told him that as well.
yeah, it's impressive.
It was lucky he was wearing it.
He's absolutely fine. No evidence of a head injury whatsoever. But the helmet, however, is compressed.
But did its job, basically, didn't it?
It did.
So let's now go into our top 5 tonight. So this top 5 comes in from Chris, Christopher Nelson. Now this is Chris's second top 5 list, which is absolutely fine. That's absolutely allowed. And I have asked you to send in more than one top 5. So Chris has, and I'm very happy to read it. So this came in actually in May. I've been catching up with lots of other top 5s, so I'm just getting round to this. So this is how long something takes to get round to. So Chris Nelson sent this in May, and he said, firstly, I would like to congratulate you on the birth of Charlotte. That's how old this email is. And also on achieving the incredible milestone of 100,000 subscribers. Yeah. What you have achieved, thank you very much. I'm not going to blush myself. But he then says, I am delighted to have been invited to submit a new selection of top 5 hymns and was so thrilled with the reaction to the first list. So here are 5 more of my favourites. So Chris Nelson's actually given us a top 10.
Hooray!
Now, actually, rather luckily, the first hymn that we're going to start out with, number 5, is the other tune to the words that we had earlier on. So it's O Thou Who Camest from Above to the tune Hereford. And Chris says this, I came across this stunningly beautiful hymn very recently here on BIS. I heard it played on a recent VC and loved it straight away. It was a tune I kept listening to over and over again. I prefer hearing it in the key of E flat, but the other settings are just as good. Well, actually, it's okay in E flat. I normally play it in E, but in E it's actually quite high. So you're right. We'll do it in E flat for you. So for the second time tonight, but for different words, different tune, sorry. O Thou Who Camest from Above. Yeah, Gregory Potter loves the bass line of this hymn. I think it's all beautiful, isn't it? It's a gorgeous tune just throughout. So the next hymn, number 4 in Chris's top 5, Chris says, this has always been one of my absolute favourites. I first heard this setting to the wonderful Irish melody, St. Columba, on a John Rutter album, and again loved it as soon as I heard it. It's the King of Love, my shepherd is, Psalm 23, whose goodness faileth never. I nothing lack if I am his, and he is mine forever. It's a tune St. Columba, as I've just said, as opposed to the tune Dominus Regit Me. Some might argue that this is actually a more beautiful tune, it's more lyrical.
I just moved Nala's bottom so that you can have a drink.
Yeah, why is she, what's going on with Nala tonight?
I don't know, she's probably been fighting with the cat next door.
Oh,
And she's missed us, we've been away. She's always missed us when we've been away.
Okay, let's have a go at Psalm 23. Nala, are you, is it safe to have her here? She's
Should be fine.
getting close to my drink on a very precarious pile of hymn books. She's laying on it. Oh, God. Oh, it all happens here, doesn't it?
So there's some chat going on about hymn preludes. Ian Garden asked, who likes a hymn prelude? And lots of people say, obviously, they like hymn preludes.
Okay.
And Ian's saying perhaps he will submit one day a top 5 hymn preludes.
Well, like organ music based on
Yes.
chorales, like
yeah.
chorale preludes. Yeah, nice. I was very tempted actually to do the the composition competition I did recently, to have that based on chorales. Perhaps next time we will do that.
It's quite
actually,
nice, isn't it? Because then, although it's a new composition, it's always quite nice playing spot the tune, isn't it? Well, I think it is anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
For me.
Some people, with some compositions, it's quite easy to spot a tune, but some it's not really. Like this one.
I was just thinking of that one.
That's
But
quite
it's
hard to spot
bombastic,
it
isn't it? It
once
doesn't matter because it's just a bit of fun and bombastic.
Yeah, actually, John Hosking recently, one of the wonderful things about having a YouTube channel like this is like I occasionally get pieces sent to me by subscribers, and John sent me a piece that he wrote for me, which I'm very grateful for, based on Slain. And it's really beautiful. I think I might play it later. In fact, I will play it. I'm going to play it after Chris Nelson's number 1. So anyway, before we get to that, number 3 in Chris's list is one of the great Welsh tunes, Jesu, Lover of My Soul, to the tune Aberystwyth. I wanted to give this selection a slightly Celtic influence. We have had a hymn set to an Irish melody since Columba. So here is one of my favourite Welsh tunes. I first became aware of this one back in 2008 when it was used as a slow march for Trooping the Colour, an event which I watch every year. In 2016 I heard it again sung by the Royal Choral Society as part of a beating retreat ceremony on Horse Guards Parade. It's a really haunting melody, and as such it is one that I always enjoy hearing. You know that it can be very haunting if it's played in a certain way. I heard this sung in a TV series, and it was sung very slowly by a Welsh male voice choir, and it was very atmospheric. It was a very sort of somber story that it was underpinning on the screen. So perhaps I'll
It was the Aberfan disaster.
reflect. It was. Perhaps I'll reflect that whilst playing it now. Okay, so this is number 3 in Chris's list. Music by Joseph Parry and the words Charles Wesley. We've had a few hymns tonight by Charles Wesley, haven't we? Okay, and this is what it sounds like.
You might have to do a rousing rendition now because apparently Wales have just trounced Australia in the Rugby World Cup.
Have you got the we can have a more rousing hymn than that one.
But
Cometh,
that one
or
can be
the Welsh
played
national anthem.
very rousingly.
I know. Well, the final words, of course,
Oh,
are
yeah,
"Spring
the Welsh
thou
national
up
anthem.
within my heart, rise to all eternity." Gives you the opportunity to end on a TS, typically, of course.
Chappie, it was 10 times too slow.
I know. Well, that was intentional, good chappie. I know sort of how fast that one should go. But that was just my choice on that one. Anyway, number 2 in Chris's list is a good one, and this can only be played in one way. It has a final verse has a big crescendo that talks about sort of climate change and stuff, earthquakes, wind and fire, and all of that. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. Dear Lord and Father of mankind, to the tune Repton. Thank you very much, by the way, to Bill and to Sean, who have just very generously dug deep into their pockets and given me £5 from Sean and $2 from Bill. Thank you very much. I'm sure I've missed some more. Pavlos, thank you very much for your 5. That's very kind. I did that earlier on. So, dear Lord and Father of mankind, this tune is a real favourite of mine, and my close friends and family are very fond of it too. So I felt this one deserved a good placing. I hope you agree. Well, I do agree, because it's fabulous. 5 verses of this one. And this is how it goes. beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful tune by the wonderful English composer Charles Parry, Sir Charles Hubert Hastings Parry, who went to a school not too far from Winchester, Twyford. Words by John Whittier. Anyway, so takes us into our number 1 for Chris's top 5. And this is what Chris says about number 1. What better way to mark the end of my top 5 than with this brilliant, patriotic English hymn by Hubert Parry, another one by Parry. As with Comrontha in the previous selection, so I think Chris, I forget what number it was, but it might have been his number 1, Comrontha. As with Comrontha in my previous selection, this one is a real favourite within my family. I really hope you all enjoy this brand new selection. I wish you both continued success with your endeavours and look forward to hopefully meeting you in the not too distant future. Which reminds me, as I was walking through a town called Zandvoort on the west part of Netherlands, where they had the Dutch Grand Prix, walking through the town square, and somebody shouted, "Are you the organist?" Like, me? No, not me. I'm not an organist. And it was a subscriber who spotted me and came over to chat. So that was nice. Nice to rather randomly and by chance meet a subscriber to BIS. So yes, I was the organist, and then we had a chat about
Fame
organs.
at last.
Infamous.
Getting recognised in the street.
Infamous. Market Street.
Not even in your home street, when you're on a holiday.
No one knows me around here. But you go to Holland and yeah.
Where they appreciate fine organs.
Absolutely. So let's see what we can do with Jerusalem. This is number 1 in Chris Nelson's top 5
he's
list.
pulled out the tuba 8.
Oh. Should probably move that actually, so people don't see it. Right, let's have a go. And did those feet in ancient time? Oh no.
using the extended version of your Romsey Abbey for that?
Yes.
I thought you were.
Yeah, so we are using Romsey Abbey, of course. We are using, give me a little bit of a chance to big it up a little bit. We are using Romsey Abbey, the extended edition, which has the 32-foot reed. It has a 16-foot on the swell, 16-foot reed on the swell. 16-foot reed on the great grand org. And then other bits and bobs, such as a flute 4-foot on the choir, because on the original organ it says 8 and 4, which are beautiful, as I've said, but the 2-foot really finishes it off.
Very twinkly.
Very twinkly, thank you. And also it has some strings on the swell division, which come from the choir strings. So the choir strings are these ones. The swell strings actually are built out of those.
Very nice.
So yes, if you want to buy this organ, please do, please buy it. It's available on the Beauty in Sound website, beautyinsound.co.uk. If you buy it, thank you. But the money that I receive, that BIS receives, goes into sort of a special Hauptwerk sampling pot, because I've got conversations going on for more sampling, and they don't come cheap. So the money we make from this sample set goes towards making more sample sets in the future. So
I
if
reckon
you want
the
to help
next
out,
organ that Richard samples is going to be quite a famous one. It's a household name.
could be. Let's see.
Because Romsey Abbey, it's a lovely
Let's see.
church, it's a lovely historic organ, but it probably wasn't a household name until you put it on the map. But I think the next one that you do will probably be a household name.
Well, let's.
That's all I can say at this moment.
Well, we can't say anything more than that, can
Nala
we?
has
There's
all the details, but she's
Absolutely.
keeping stum,
Yeah.
aren't you, Nala?
Nothing but,
Is that Bobby?
more
Hi,
details to be
Bobby!
announced
Bobby's
anon.
come to see her friends from around the world. Bobby's
so
here.
Westminster Abbey, says Steve. Pavlos says Norwich. I'd like to go and record Norwich, actually. That would be nice. So, Jesu, Meine, Freude is for...
Before you start,
Yes.
we just need to say congratulations to Good Chappie, who had surgery. So get well soon. Is that the right thing to say? Good recovery. I hope you have a good recovery from your recent surgery, Good Chappie. It sounds like you are recovering well, and he says he can play the organ again, which is great. We're not quite sure, but you know Carmen Foster was in hospital. You know where Carmen was in hospital? Someone in the chat called Old and Slow has seen, this is not completely verified that it is our Carmen Foster, but has seen a funeral listing for a Carmen Foster in Miami. So it is possible, if that is our Carmen Foster, that she is no longer with us.
If that's the case, that's very sad, but we can't...
It's not verified, so if anybody has any information about that, if anyone can confirm either way, that we would like to know, because obviously Carmen was a dear member of the community.
Yes, but yes,
Carmen
indeed.
is a great dear member of the community.
Yeah, I hope it's not true, but if it is, then it's very sad. But we can't confirm that.
No, we can't.
So who's this one for then?
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace, of course.
Yeah, Ben Wallace.
Ben, are you still with us?
I think he is. He was in the chat just briefly a minute ago.
He wrote requesting Jesus' priceless treasure. Yeah, that's the same words. To the tune Jesu, Meine, Freude with a big smiley face. So let's enjoy this. This is a great chorale which J.S. Bach knew because he wrote various chorales on it. In fact, actually, what I might do is, could you pass me my Orgelbuchlein, please?
Where is it? That's just a pile of
You're
laundry.
going to say that.
What you don't see, there's a pile of laundry in the room.
I took it to Romsey with me on Thursday, so it can't be far away.
Is it? It's not blue, is it? It's a different colour.
Yeah, it's blue. The Orgelbuchlein's blue.
Oh, is it? I thought you had a different edition.
No.
So it's the same as your other Bach
Well, I'm going
books.
to play this on the map. There's a chorale in there.
Right.
Based on this tune.
Okay.
So that was the Zu meiner Freude from the Orgelbuchlein, BWV 610, which followed on from the hymn, the chorale version, the real version of it, as requested there by Ben Wallace. So the next hymn that we have comes in from...
It is King Loudrup.
King Loudrup,
and he's
hello.
asked for Lead Kindly Light to the tune Alberta.
Amid the encircling gloom. Just trying to find it on my list.
Well, let me read what it says in the chat.
It's not on my list.
Hang
Sure.
on. Submitted to the BIS form for last week. I'm not seeing, so adding to requests for today. So I think Josh has probably added it manually because he put it on the form, but it's not coming up.
Yeah, Josh is super.
Josh is on the ball.
He's on the money.
As ever.
Absolutely. That's why we're very fortunate to have people like Josh and James who work behind the scenes to keep BIS VC ticking over in order. Because if it wasn't for people helping me, it'd be all over the place. A little bit like my mind, all over the place. So this wonderful tune is called Alberta. It's by William Harris, no less. And the words are by John Henry Newman, again, no less. So we're in pretty good company here with William and John. A match made in heaven with these words and this tune. Utterly gorgeous. So, I hope you enjoy it, because I'll definitely enjoy playing it. Beautiful tune, beautiful words, isn't it? So long thy power hath blessed me, sure it still will lead me on. Over moor and fen, over crag and torrent, till the night is gone, and with the morn those angel faces smile, which I have longed since, which I have loved long since and lost a while. So, King Loudrup, if you're watching, I don't think you're watching live, but if you're watching on catch-up, I hope that was all right for you. Okay, so should we go into another one?
Right, yeah. Gregory Potter next. Gregory Wonders is next on my list, but I need to grab the ELW for that, and I think it's in the back cupboard.
It's there.
So,
oh, there's that one.
Yeah, that's the 82. So
Okay.
we'll go for Gregory Potter first while I find the ELW. He has
Okay.
asked for one of our favourites, virtual choir hymn. Lobe den Herrn, praise to the Lord.
Okay.
Do you want to find it in there, or do you want to find it in the BAS hymnal? It's 558 in
I'll
there.
find it in here.
Okay.
I
Praise
think
the
it's-
Lord, the Almighty, the King of creation.
Who is this one for?
Gregory Potter.
Ah, excellent.
I'll go and find the ELW while I do that. We're busy on requests tonight because everyone's missed you so much because you've been away.
I've missed being
Been
here.
riding Dutch school bus bikes.
Driving Dutch organs as well.
Yeah.
I haven't been driving Dutch bikes. You have, not me.
No, true. You took your bike from home.
Well, I took my bike, my e-bike. I'm so very pleased that I did so. 'Cause, there was lots of them around, weren't there?
Mostly driven by teenagers, in the case of Richard's bike, which made me think maybe you're having a midlife crisis.
Oh, I've been having a midlife crisis since I was about 23, I think. So nothing's changed in what I purchase and what I do, has it? So when does it sort of go from it being normal to then it suddenly becoming a midlife crisis?
Not sure.
I don't know. I'm just the same person as I was when I was 20. Well, no, that's not true at all. I'm not the same person. But I like the same things.
Jerry Martin is playing a recital in Blackburn Cathedral on Wednesday the 5th of October. If you are near Blackburn, be there or be square.
Well, I'm not going to be square. Are you going to be square? Because I will be there.
I think I might have to be square because Charlotte and Hugo can't really go. I'll be square.
I'm going
Or
to
as they say in Australia, daggy. That's my new word. I'm such a dag means I'm really square.
That could be that could be a rude word.
I don't think so. I think it's just...
Have you checked it? Have
Well,
you Googled it? Have you researched the
no.
facts? That could be a colourful
really?
word. We could now be R-rated, this this broadcast.
Oh dear.
I might get demonetised from YouTube for using language like that. So, I don't know. To be careful. So praise to the Lord the Almighty, the King of creation.
Oh, look, Margaret Kirk can tell us. What? Daggy. She's in Australia. So Margaret Kirk in Australia has confirmed daggy, unfashionable, not stylish clothing. And apparently, Good Chappie says they use dag and home and away and neighbours, so it can't be X-rated. But amusingly, one of Richard's chat screens has gone blank after we
Literally
said that.
said it, and it now says chat is disabled for this live stream.
But it's not. It's still alive and well. Don't worry. It's just.
There we go. That was a bit alarming. I thought we had actually genuinely done something wrong.
Daggy.
Let's not keep on saying it.
No, it's not. It's fine. They've all said it's fine out there. It's just amused me. Hugo's best friend has Australian parents. They live obviously up the road from us, but they're from Melbourne. And so his mum, her mum, Hugo's friend's mum, told me about the word daggy, and I thought it was brilliant.
You. Right, so come on. What's this next one? Which one is it?
This is for Gregory Wonders.
Right, which one is it?
This one.
Right, I need to know.
Liebster Jesu.
Okay, lovely.
Can I just tell you something funny that happened while you were playing that hymn? Wayne Jenkins, thank you so much for your $19.99, but the emoji that went with it is a hippo saying, epic fail. So I wonder if that's the tempo police.
Epic fail, wasn't it?
Epic fail. It made me laugh. I'm sure Wayne didn't mean it. He maybe didn't realise, but it's funny.
I can take it.
I think it's the tempo. I think it's the tempo police.
The tempo, yeah, 10 times too slow apparently. According to.
I thought that would make you laugh. We've never had epic fail before. The crying hippopotamus.
I've not seen that one. Right, okay, let's regain focus now. Dearest Jesus, we are here, gladly your command obeying. Es Liebster Jesu, wir sind here.
He says a great baptismal hymn is his comment on it.
Yeah. So use the 8/4 and the 12 down in the choir. Beautiful combination. Just with the single stop-start arpeggio on the grate. In fact, I'll show you the Hauptwerk screen just for a moment. There you go. So I know some people like to see the stops on the screen, but that was essentially, I'll show you again, you'll notice that that was all of the flutes on every division. And in the building, in the abbey itself, that is such a glorious sound, and I hope that comes across here as well. So thank you very much for allowing me to play Liebster Jesu. There is, of course, an arrangement of that in there, which we won't have. Shall we have that as well? Whilst Caroline finds the next hymn. I think she's getting a bit distracted with chat and stuff.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just looking at the scans. Actually, we've had a couple sent via scan. Can I borrow your iPad, please? While you play that, while you use that book. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly play this. Here's what I'm using. I'll just show you on the screen what I'm using. But I won't keep it on the screen. That was BWV 634, which comes from the Pentecost season. Liebster Jesu, wir sind hier in Canon at the Quint, as it says there. You could probably play that, maybe thumb it down, perhaps. Actually, no, you couldn't, because you can't do it. That would be too hard. We'll try it one day. Anyway.
Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Cheryl Hart. She just sent us an email. Hello, Cheryl.
Hello.
Nice to hear from you. Right, so these two scans, actually, the quality's not very good. Tantum Ergo.
That was requested, wasn't it? By
can you read that? Can you read that all right?
Is that the right version?
I'm guessing so. That's what we've been sent. Can you read it?
By who? It's not the version I was thinking of.
I was thinking of one by Derufle, but that's just Derufle's version, isn't it?
Who's requested it? Who's requested this one, sorry?
It is. Hang on.
There's a few people, weren't there?
Yeah, Bill Ratey, I think. But he sponsored it on behalf of someone else, I think. Someone else asked for it.
I have a feeling that this is to a different
And
tune,
I think
though.
also
think...
Gerrit, who I've realised I've been pronouncing his name wrong forever.
Yep.
It's Gerrit.
As I said earlier in the chat. Yep.
He also, I think, requested Tantum Ergo. Do you think that's the right Tantum Ergo?
Unlikely.
It's not the one that the chant that I know from the Derufle setting for choral.
Okay. Well, I'll play it, and then and people will let us know if it's the right version or the wrong version. By the way, we need to get a voluntary sorted. So can we get on that?
Oh, yeah.
We need to get on that. A voluntary.
Oh, someone asked what my favourite organ piece is.
Well,
I
let's...
don't know, I have lots of favourites.
Well,
I can't really keep up with
tell
them
them
now.
after this.
There's so many.
So I don't know if that was the right version or not. I think the person who originally requested it isn't here. But anyway, it's a nice tune. I have no idea what the tune is called there. That's all I have, look. There, that version there. That's all I have.
Andy asked, Richard, what is the Blue Bach music book? So it's the complete works of Bach, the Baron Reiter edition.
Yeah, that one. This particular one here is the Buchlein, Volume 1. We've played 2 pieces from that one already tonight. Thank you very much, Robert. Give you a heart for that. Thank you very much for $50. If I can request a hymn.
Yeah, rousing
Yes, of
him
course
using
you
the
can.
tuba mirabilis. So we'll play
Yeah.
that shortly. But
Tuba,
up
yes.
next, we have this one. Up next, Pavlos Triantaris.
Yep.
Care to acquaint us with the hymn tune Farnborough? I think it's number 496 in the NEH.
Okay. Farnborough, just up the road from us. Well, who's this one? Sorry.
Yeah, but it's
Name
not
again?
spelt
Oh,
Farnborough.
Pavlos.
It's spelt farm, as in old MacDonald had a farm.
Oh, yes, it is. It's
Whereas the Farnborough near us
yes,
is spelt
yes, no,
farm
fair
with a
enough.
n.
I didn't. I said thought it was Farnborough.
Oh, get a Herrod and said that was the correct version for me. Thanks a lot.
There you go. Welcome. Okay, let's have a listen to Farnborough. Angle. Which one angle should we go for? Oh, so that was the tune Farnborough, not Farnborough as I thought. So Pavlos, well, thank you. I didn't know the tune actually, and it's in this hymn book which I've been using since I was a kid. at church, and now that various cathedrals I've worked, and now at Romsey, but I've never had to play or sing that one. And actually, the alternative tune is Melita. But I don't know whether I've ever sung those words before. So thank you very much. Now, up next is one for Robert Solarski, who gave us a selection of hymns from which to choose, and he wanted to hear the tuba. So Robert, are you still with us? Yes, look, let's engage tuba like that. Let's engage reeds full stop, shall we? Let's have all the reeds coupled down to the solo. That should make a bit of a racket, as they say. It's a good hymn, that, isn't it? It's just a shame that it's so short, because you just want more of it, more verses. But you should probably do an improv in between each verse or something. So that was for Robert. I'm going to play another one for Robert because he is very generous. I'm going to take the tone right down. So Robert has also asked for "Be Still" in the presence of the Lord, which I assume you mean, Robert, be still for the presence of the Lord, the Holy One is here. Gorgeous sort of 3-verse soft tune. So let's assume that's the one Robert means, and let's have that one for a moment. This is actually one of my favourite out of the modern hymns selection. And this is actually really beautiful. Okay, it's nice and quiet for now. See what I mean? That one is really gorgeous, isn't it? It's quite a modern one by David Evans, who was born in 1957. I don't know when that was written. Copyright 1986, so I guess it was written in the 80s. I think that's one of the better of the modern hymns, isn't it? Okay, where am I up to? Josh. Caroline's just had to zoom upstairs. I've got quite a big list. I don't know quite what I've done. Okay, so we had Jesu, Meine, Freude, King Laudrup we've had, Gregory Wonders we've had, Praise to the Lord we've had that one, Tantum Ergo we've had that, Farnborough we've had that. Bill Ratey has asked for "Oh Jesus, I have promised" to the tune "Angel's Story." Okay, let's have a look at that one. I think it's on my email. Oh yes, okay. Now this is based on the assumption that we've had bad news about Carmen Foster. It's not confirmed, but there might have been some bad news. So let's just assume the news is true. I don't want to assume it's true, actually. But Bill has requested, "Oh Jesus, I have promised." I'm not going to play all the verses because we've had this tune, these words already. But I'll give you 2 verses of this. So it's to the tune, Bill, what's the tune? Angel's Story. Oh yes, I know. I think I actually have it in my hymnal. Actually, I think. Oh Jesus, I have promised. It is Angel's Story. It's a higher quality version. Cornet, let's get that one out because it's gorgeous. A lot of stops on this organ are gorgeous, aren't they? Hands up, please, anyone who has this organ. Who has bought this organ, then you're in the cool Romsey Abbey club. I should get an emoji for that. I'm not sure what that would be, but yeah. Okay, so that was requested by Bill for Carmen Foster. Okay, so I'm just going to look down this list here on my right-hand side. This is Josh's list. I'm going to go for a request which has come in live from Daniel. Daniel sent in a request during the week, so this is Daniel's second request. What is it? Number 542 in the 1982. What was it, 542? Christ is the world's true light, its captain of salvation, the day star clear and bright of every race and nation. There we go. Thank you very much, Robert. You are still there. Great to have you with us. I played 2 of your hymns and happy to play more of them. But Robert, people were saying in the chat that you should give us a top 5 because you request very strong hymns and people always respond well to them. So if you could send in a top 5 if you get time. I know how busy you are. Maybe when you're in the gym, you can come up with a top 5. By the way, I'm joining a gym. Guess that's kind of news. Joining a gym. Need to get into shape. I'm not in shape. Well, I am in shape, but I'm not in the shape that I want to be. I'm in the wrong shape. I need to get into shape. Anyway, Daniel, this one is for you. So thank you very much for requesting this. Okay, Christ is the world's true light. Go. Christ is the world's true light. In 3/4 time. And it says a dotted minim. You Americans, I don't know what that is in numbers. 8th, no. 4th. I'm just guessing, I don't know. 16th. It's a minim, you know, a minim. The one with the hole in it. It's the white note, the hole. That's minim. Dotted minim equals 42. So that was sort of a slow 1 per bar. So you can't complain that the tempo was wrong that time. Because I was following directions. Right, where are we going next, Josh? The God of Abraham praise. Oh, that's a good one. Number 401 in here. In here. Listen to me talking like a Yorkshireman. In here. 401. What is that? I remember that from my organ marathon. Oh heavens! Oh, what is that one? Oh my goodness! Wow, don't remember that one, but that looks way out there. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Number 401 for Yom Kippur. What is Yom Kippur? It was, I think, sponsored by Richard Allegra on behalf of Yom Kippur, perhaps. We're going to have a voluntary very soon, by the way. Okay, but before we do that, just I think a couple more hymns. Just a couple more. Now, I'm going to say something that you'll never hear in a church service. I just need to go and make sure the cat isn't eating our chicken. I've heard some weird noises as I was playing that. Oh, look. You. Luckily, what are you eating a bone for? You don't eat bones. Go on. Go on. I'll feed you later. Yes, she was eating, luckily she was eating leftover chicken, not the good stuff, just stuff from tonight's tea. Anyway, let's go back. Where were we? Luckily, the good stuff was sealed, so she hasn't got into the fresh, uneaten chicken. She was only eating a bone. I don't know why. can't have been that hungry, surely. To be fair, the chicken, it was very nice chicken. I can't fault her for wanting to eat it. Right, we're going to have the last hymn now. We've been going for nearly 3 hours. So, Yom Kippur says this: a day of atonement, most solemn of Jewish religious holidays, observed on the 10th day of the lunar month of Tishri, in the course of September and October, when Jews seek to expiate their sins and achieve reconciliation with God. There we go. So we're going to have one more hymn from Good Chappie, who requested Majestas, name of all majesty, fathomless mystery, King of the ages, by angels adored, to the tune Majestas. Don't think I know this one. I don't think I know it, but you know what I'm like. Probably do. Let's get our final hymn ready, and then I'm going to I'm going to go straight into the voluntary after that, which you will recognise as a piece of music by Sir Edward Elgar, his Imperial March. So we'll have that after this final hymn from Good Chappie, who's recovering in hospital from surgery. So best wishes to you, Peter. Hope you're well soon. Keep the good humour, because without your humour, VC wouldn't be the same. Well, that was the Imperial March there by Edward Elgar, arranged for organ by George Martin. Obviously, it was originally written for orchestra. So, before I click the end button and we go into a little bit of Rosie Major by Vaughan Williams, I just want to say thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's so good to be back live on a Sunday evening. Thank you all to all of your donations, people such as Robert, Daniel, Richard, Wayne, Kathleen, hi Kathleen, Good Chappie, Paul, Sean, Bill, Pavlos, Garrett, so many people to thank. Thank you all so much for your support, for your company, for your good humour. And please tell your friends about BIS. Tell them to join in, to subscribe, and to join in the fun, mainly. If you haven't already, please click the like button on this video. That would be really appreciated. It's just a very easy thing to do. Click like, it's entirely free. And of course, last but by no means least, thank you very much to Josh. Josh, who's been producing tonight, Josh Wilson. It's really good to have such a safe pair of hands keeping an eye on the chat and keeping me informed with what's what. By the way, I hope you, I've recorded a lot of hymns on pipe organs, and I'm going to start uploading them sort of individually. So I put the first one on today. How does it go now? Deluxe EOE, Alleluia, Alleluia, Hearts to Heaven and Voices Raise or Sing. I'm going to start uploading them as individual uploads every Sunday, so keep an eye out for that. I'd appreciate your support with that. Give them a comment, you know, well played, too loud, too fast, too slow, 10 times too slow, 10 times too fast. I'd appreciate any comment. All in good humour. So until next week, until next video, I will say cheerio, thank you very much, and goodbye.